Hello everybody, so this time we're going to take a look at how to find percentage change. Now hopefully you've already watched the video on multipliers and you know and understand what multipliers are. Now we're going to look at a series of videos and this is the first one and we're going to keep the same thing in mind for all of the videos. I want us to think about something. Well, if we have an original amount, could be money, could be a number, okay, and we multiply it by the percentage multiplier, we're going to get an increase or decrease depending on that multiplier. It's going to give us our new amount. Now that seems like the most obvious thing in the world if you've watched those videos on multipliers, but that is the most powerful of equations that we're going to be using, and I want to simplify and use a little triangle. You may have seen this before, okay, in a science lesson, but if I have an original amount and a multiplier giving me a new amount, okay, we can create one of these triangles, and hopefully you already know how to use those triangles, but if you don't, all right, it's really simple. If I want the new amount, I cover it up and I can see that I've got multiplication. I've got them next to each other. So those two times together give us that new amount. If I am looking for the multiplier, then I cover up the multiplier and I'm left with the NA and the OA. Well, one's above the other. So it's like a division. That multiplier is going to be the new amount divided by the original amount. And finally, if I wanted to find the original amount, I put my finger over it, I cover it up, and that reveals to me that it's going to be the new amount divided by the multiplier. Okay, so this triangle is a really, really powerful way to work out reverse questions or percentage change questions. Finally, we're just going to have to, before we go into the questions, we need one extra piece of information. Just make sure and refresh in your mind what a multiplier is and what it means. If we find that a multiplier is 1.2, this is equivalent to a 20% increase. If we found the multiplier was 1.89, that would be an 89% increase. If I found the multiplier was 0.92, this is the hard bit here, that would be an 8% decrease. Okay, if I found out that it was 0.2, that would be an 80% decrease. Now, this was explained in a previous video. Do look it up if you don't understand, but we've got to make sure we understand that before we can do anything. Okay, so with all those pieces of information done, let's jump into the questions and see if we can work out some solutions. So, the population of a village increased from 234 to 275 during 1 year. Find the percentage increase. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to our formula look, okay? So we know that the original amount, which is 234, was times by a multiplier, and it became the new amount. I'm subbing that in as 275. So if I want to work out that multiplier, I can either use my triangle. I'm going to cover up the one I'm looking for, and it's going to be the new amount divided by the original amount. Okay, so let's do that. So new amount is 275 divided by 234. That is going to give us our multiplier that we're looking for. So if I do that, that is 1.1752. Okay, now what does that mean? Well, it's an increase and we've got to now convert that, haven't we? So let's round it as well. Let's say that is going to be a 17.5% increase. We must write the word increase or decrease as well. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So when a beaker of sand is dried in a hot oven, its mass reduces from 450 grams to 320 grams. Find the percentage reduction in its mass. Okay, so the original amount was 450 times some multiplier, and it gave us a outcome, our new amount of 320. Now, using the same process, we could think of it an equation if you don't like the triangle. Okay, we're going to divide both sides by 450. Either way, we've got to do the same calculation. So, if I take 320 and I divide it by 450, I get 0.7111. Okay, I've got to now convert that to a percentage reduction. And of course, 0.71 is going to be equivalent to a 29% reduction. And we're finished. Okay, one more example. We've got some pounds this time. John buys calculators for £5 each and then sells them to other students for £6.90. Find his percentage profit. Okay, same as last time. 5 is our original amount. We're timesing it by a multiplier to get that new amount. So the calculation that we have got to do is 6.9 divided by 5. Okay, so that is going to give us our multiplier at 1.38. This is equivalent to a 38% increase. Okay, I hope that helps you to understand a little bit more about finding percentage change.